Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're working in the tourism industry, you already know that B2B negotiations are incredibly high stakes. But we need to do a bit of a reality check right off the bat here. Poor grammar during these negotiations isn't just, a little embarrassing. It actually ruins contracts. It costs you money. So today, we're going to show you exactly how to bulletproof your professional English, giving you the tools to secure those crucial industry deals with absolute confidence. All right, let's dive into this masterclass. We're breaking down the anatomy of a deal into three really critical stages. First up, we've got shopping around, then setting the terms, and finally, talking numbers and money. Let's get right into it. So, stage one, shopping around, where we compare services and rates. In this stage, we're basically acting as a guide, right? Navigating different transport fleets, hotel locations, and service standards so we can make competitive choices by comparing our options cleanly. Now, to do that effectively, you have got to master comparative adjectives. And the rule here, it depends entirely on syllable length. It's actually pretty simple. Short one-syllable adjectives, like cheap, just get an tacked onto the end, so it becomes cheaper than. But long adjectives with two or more syllables, like expensive, get a more placed right in front of them, making it more expensive than. And then, of course, you've got your irregulars, like good, which completely change their spelling to become better than. Sounds easy enough, right? But believe me, the mistakes people make right here are absolute deal breakers. Okay, so here's a massive red flag in a negotiation. Never, ever combine more with a short adjective that already ends in ER. Saying something is more faster sounds terribly unprofessional. If you're comparing transit options for a client, just keep it clean. Simply say, the express bus is faster than the regular train. Boom, professional and accurate. And that brings us to deal breaker number 2. When you are putting two options side by side, you must always use than for the comparison. Never that. Saying the hotel is cheaper than the cruise, it immediately signals a lack of attention to detail to the person you're negotiating with. It should always be cheaper than. Getting this right builds immediate trust with your B2B partners. All right, so you've successfully compared the rates, and you've totally convinced your supplier that your service is better. Awesome. But what are the actual rules? Now it's time to shift gears, transition away from shopping around, and sit down at the table to hammer out the legal terms. Which brings us to stage 2, setting the terms, specifically focusing on obligations. This is the part where we absolutely must separate strict corporate rules from optional choices to legally protect our contracts. You see, there's a crucial difference here that you have to understand. When you're laying down the law on booking deposits or cancellation policies, you use must and have to demand mandatory action. We're talking strict corporate rules, 100% compulsory. Like an agency has to pay a 20% deposit, or guests must show a valid ID. But on the flip side, we have the phrase don't have to. And listen, this means there is zero obligation, none. It's a completely free commercial choice. And this right here is a mistake that will literally cause panic in a business meeting. Imagine saying, you mustn't pay today. By saying mustn't, you're implying that paying today is dangerous, strictly prohibited, or maybe even illegal. That is a huge red flag when all you really meant was that payment is optional right now. What you should say is, you don't have to pay today. You can pay us next month instead. Mixing those up completely changes the legal reality of your contract. Okay, stage 3, talking numbers and money. We've officially reached the climax of the deal. This is where your precision has to be completely flawless, because handling the financials is hands down the most dangerous part of any negotiation. Let's kick things off with currencies. When you write a price down on an invoice or a contract, you put the symbol first. But, and this is a fun little quirk of English pronunciation, we actually say the currency name at the very end. So out loud, it's 450 euros. And you know what? The exact same rule applies across the board for all major currencies. You write that symbol first, but you say 1,200 pounds. I know, it sounds incredibly basic. But fumbling this on a high-stakes conference call, it makes you sound hesitant. And hesitation loses you leverage every single time. Percentages are super straightforward, thankfully. You just read the number first, followed immediately by the word percent. 15%. There are no plurals, no weird variations, just clean, absolute clarity. So let's put this into practice and build you a perfect little cheat sheet of fixed questions. When you're clarifying terms directly with an industry provider, use these exact phrases. Asking, how much is the discount for groups, locks down your deductions.
Is VAT included in this net price secures your tax placements so there are no surprises. And what is the total cost per person clarifies the individual division of costs. Seriously, memorize these and you'll never get caught off guard.
Okay, pay close attention, because this next point is a massive trap. It literally destroys international contracts every single day. In English numeric notation, a comma is specifically used to separate thousands. That means the number you're looking at is $1,500. On the flip side, a point, or a period, is used strictly for decimals and exact cents. So this is 10 euros and 50 cents. Whatever you do, never, ever mix these two up when you're calculating a deal. If you use a decimal point when you actually meant a comma, you might just accidentally invoice a partner for $1.50 instead of $1,500. Absolute accuracy isn't just nice to have here, it's required to prevent massive financial losses. At the end of the day, it's simple. Clear English equals clear business. Mastering these comparative structures, knowing exactly how to express a legal obligation, and rigidly following financial notation rules, that doesn't just make you sound better. It equips you with the heavy-duty professional tools you need to secure B2B contracts smoothly and effectively. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to really think about. Take a hard look at the last email you sent to a supplier. Ask yourself, is your absolute accuracy reflecting your true professional value? Or is a misplaced comma or a confusing mustn't secretly costing you your next big contract? Thank you so much for joining this explainer. Keep your English clear, and I promise you, your deals will follow suit.